the energy of seeking shortcuts. Is a frequent distractor in the human experience. By shortcuts, I mean that idea, that urge that comes sometimes when I think, oh, I'm doing something. I'm doing a task. I'm doing task X. I'm right in the middle of task X. I'm focused on task X. And at some point, we just think like, oh, wait, what if I do that other thing? What if I do something else instead? Maybe it could be better done if I did it that way, or not necessarily better done. It's more like what if I could use less effort in this task of what I'm doing? And that kind of question has been very helpful to people, because when we ask those kinds of questions and we come up with another way of doing things, then we'll realize, I can use less effort to do the same thing. Instead of dragging around a stone to build a house, dragging it because it's very heavy and like lifting it all the way, we can realize like, if we choose the round ones, maybe we can just roll them around. Or if we take rolled stones that are already round, we can put them under the thing and look, it moves easier. Good. So innovation, it does help innovation to have these similar thoughts to these. It's very valid to be doing something in one way and then realize, what if there could be another way? To use less effort, to use less effort. But that energy of innovation, it's not the one I'm referring to, but it's rather one of trying to make it easier. And easier is good. It's just easier at the expense of something else. At realizing, at being aware that, I could make it easier. And one also realizes that, it's not the right way to do it. It's not exactly what I want to do. It's not exactly proper. And by that I mean it can be anything proper. But what I think of is maybe like, maybe how can I spend less money on what I want to do? And the thing is, it's very valid to think of, I want to spend less money, yes. But sometimes the conclusion, the decision that people take based on these questions is, maybe I can spend less money if I can make someone else make the pay for me. Or maybe there's some agreement, some relationship that I have formed with someone else where I have agreed to pay something. And then I realize, look, I can just I can spend less money. I can use less energy, less of that money if I break that agreement. Or if I hide behind forgetting the agreement, or just neglecting to follow up on it. What I mean is things like paying rent, or saying, hey, I owe you one, or owe you one is a bit too informal, but saying like, can you lend me $50? I really, really need them right now. And then the person lends them, and then time goes on, and the person does not pay back, even though they know that they could, and they know that, and they remember the debt, and they may just be like, it's sometimes subconscious, unconscious, even the surge of saying like, oh, I could just not say anything, and then enough time passes, and then I don't pay it. Or something like this, stealing something. We have in society this fairly widespread implicit assumption that we do not take another's property without their consent. And there's a lot of exchange of property. We go to the grocery store and we buy stuff, and we give them money, we get stuff, and then we walk away. But then something like stealing is like saying, I want your stuff, and I do not consent to the offering that you are making, which is, I offer you food, and if you give me money, I do not consent to it. I break that implicit agreement, and I take it for myself. And as usual, it's not the action that is the relevant thing I'm doing here, that I'm talking about here. It's the energy, the knowledge that something is being broken in order to ease one's own life. It's a distraction, see, because it's realizing, okay, this energy is going to come from somewhere. So right now, I am the one who is initiating, responsible for putting in that energy. And then if we manage to use less energy by ourselves, then great. Then maybe that's innovation. We find a way to improve our tasks, the performance and efficiency. But then it can also be the case that we slide the energy into something else that is not us, and we, in a way, we burden them with needing to use some of that energy to repair, to do that task, because there was some missing energy there. It was not done. It can be very subtle. Very subtle. But the thing is, every time that we know, it's not so much that, okay, the other person has to use more energy. Yes, that's also the case. But I feel the more impactful phenomenon happening here is we ourselves know that we have broken something, and because of that, often there is also energy that we use to hide it, or there is energy that we use to defend ourselves against our action, to justify it. There's energy done because we broke something. We know it. It's like instinctively we know that, okay, there's something broken. There's a requirement, there's a need to defend myself. I gotta look for the address. What am I talking about? Yes, distraction. It's a distraction of energy. Because if we take shortcuts, yes, we may use less energy in that very moment. However, we will be burdened with the extra hiding / oh, there it is. Hiding / defending for perhaps a long time. It may be subtle, and we may not even notice. And it's like, oh, we just go on with our lives. It takes energy. It takes energy to not be whole, to have broken agreements. It takes energy. All this came about because I was thinking that I have 1 month left in my apartment, and I realized, do I need to pay it? I was trying to find out if in some way I could offset this rent to someone else if I found someone other tenant or something. And yes, of course, I could, but I had looked for a tenant, and in the end, I couldn't. But I realized there is an active task within me trying to minimize. I didn't, and I don't think I was going into the zone of breaking agreements. But it did make me think. Hiding. It just takes energy away because we know that there is something that is not whole. Whole. That is it.